Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Hannah. I'm Hannah. Today I am going to give you a tour of my sewing room. Last April I took the opportunity of some unusual circumstances where my kids ended up wanting to share a room again and fixed up the back room that my youngest had been staying in and took it over as my sewing room and as my space, which was actually really nice. So I can retreat to my space and everybody else can have the rest of the house, which has worked out somewhat well. Boys being boys, of course, there are some challenges, especially at bedtime with talking and wrestling and stuff like that with sharing a room, but we're managing. And like I said, this has turned into kind of a retreat for me, so that works out well. Yesterday we had a bunch of snow, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to film or not today because wasn't sure if school was going to be happening or not. There ended up being a 2-hour delay, but my oldest actually ended up staying home because the bus was having issues. And so a week ago, we had issues like that too, and a lot of parents out here north of Reno ended up just keeping their kids home because the traveling conditions were just outrageous. Trying to get even 15 miles down the freeway was taking people an hour and a half to 2 hours because traffic was so slow. People were sliding all over the place. So when he came back saying, "Mom, the bus hasn't come yet," and it's been an hour, and I had just gotten a call that the bus wasn't supposed to be here for another 45 minutes, and class was starting already, I was like, you know what, just stay home, email your teachers, tell them you're not going to be there, get some work, So anyway, I ended up putting him to work, and he shoveled the driveway for us and and everything like that. So at least he did something productive today. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, welcome to my sewing room. So walking in the door here, you can kind of see over here, around, and we'll start with the shelves. And yes, y'all get a peek at my stash, both fabric and yarn. So I recently redid my shelves here. When I started doing much more sewing and when I moved in here, I actually got rid of a lot of yarn. I had a lot more yarn. Some of it I just threw away because it was trash. Others of it I donated and gave away. But I still kept some of my hand spun yarn. You can see that there, the yellow and the gray and the purple and the green there. Plus I also have some cones and everything because I use those for tying quilts as well as lace work when I'm in the mood. And then in the middle there, I do have some roving, and I do have a lot more roving that's put away for now into bins in the garage and stuff like that, mainly because I just haven't been spinning. But like I said in an earlier video, spinning will be coming back, I think, once I get the project on my wheel finished up. Been working on getting my buttons set up. These are all my knitting needles right in here. Those are the old Namaste circular knitting needle holders, and they're really great. I have 2 of them because I have a lot of those. And then my buttons are in here, and this is the twill tape that I actually let's see, sorry, it got stained with coffee a little bit ago, but that's the twill tape that I use for doing my labels and everything, and various other projects that needs twill tape. But got some buttons from my mom not that long ago, and so I've been kind of adding to them. This tin has a bunch of buttons in it that are multiples. So like I have at least, 4 of the same button. So I know that those are all together and I can use them for various projects. The other ones I'm going to have to go through and do something with. Anyway, down below that I have my suitings and wools. And also some lining fabric right over here stuffed in the corner there. This is the wool that I used for my coat. I made a dress out of that. Plus I have pants out of that. I have not used this one yet. I'm not sure what that's going to be. It's a really cool shade. Sometimes it looks periwinkle, sometimes it looks purple. Anyway, and then various other lengths of some wools in there. Some of those are destined to become like short mini skirts and stuff like that. This will be a jacket at some point. It matches really nicely with the wool boucle that I made that skirt out of recently. Plus I have some various lengths of some other wools in here that I wanted to make more of like a patchwork jacket with. Underneath that is actually some books and stuff, and then various things on the lower shelves there. My cutting table, which I will show you in just a second, is kind of covering that. So then the next shelf over, some more yarn at the top there, and that's like a thick cotton yarn. I used to do blankets and dish towels. Anyway, right here is my silk. So I have some really light gauze weight silk up there, like a yellow, orange, peach. There's that orange silk that I used to line that jacket. Some turquoise. I have some red. This is going to be a really nice summer weight dress, hopefully within the next couple of months. And then a dark blue silk chamois, I believe. So that'll make a really nice lining. I don't think I'll make a shirt out of it or anything, but I'm going to save that definitely for lining. And then I have some gray silk underneath that as well. Next to that are my linens. This in here is a really nice white linen that I made that shirt. I made a Vernon shirt out of recently. You know, just various length. This is actually a rayon and linen blend. It's called the Brussels washer linen. And it's got a lovely hand and wonderful drape. 100% linen. Then we've got another silk in there, silk tweed. And this is also like a silk cotton tweed that I was going to make either some pants or a skirt out of. And then I've got my box of bias tape. And also I've been putting some random lengths of ribbon in there and everything that I'm going to use. And I've got some sewing books and some quilting patterns over there. And just various quilting stuff, scraps in that bin. Underneath there at the bottom, I've got old sheets that I use for behind the for quilt backing. And the next to that is my stash of heavier weight canvas and denims. And then some interfacing and some foam at the bottom there. Then over here, so at the top, I've got some yarn and roving in those boxes up there, plus some just miscellaneous swimwear, bra inserts, you name it, it's up there. You got to have a space for stuff like that where it just doesn't really go with anything else. So these are actually quilting projects that I do have intent to do within the next year. There's a couple of really nice colors. Blue has kind of been my theme for this year for quilting. A couple of them are going to be for us. Some of them are going to be for other people. Anyway, and then this also is mostly quilting cottons in here. Now, some of these are destined to be in quilts. Some of them can be tops. They're here because they have a number of uses. They're not scraps and they're not slated to be used in a project yet. And then my copious collection of knitting books. So ignore the dusters. I like using these especially to clean out the inside of my my sewing machine and sergers. Anyway, I am actually quite proud of my knitting book collection, especially the Alice Starmores. Some of those were actually given to me. The Celtic collection, I'm not sure if they've re-released that, but that was quite a collector's item when I got that. Some of these I've had for, wow, probably 20 years now, because I've been knitting for about 20 years now. And then my lace books here. Then underneath that is my other apparel, like apparel weight fabric. So you've got your rayons and shirtings and other cotton and other blends that work well for that. And then underneath that is my knits. And I've tried to keep it somewhat neat, but I've been pulling stuff out and doing stuff with them. So anyway, so that is my stash, so to speak. The cutting table I have actually got at a yard sale for 50 bucks. This thing has been amazing. It's a little bit cattywampus right in the center here. You can kind of see over on the other side. It's not quite meshed up there where the cutting mat kind of overlays it. But it's not bad enough that it's hampering me in any way. This leaf does come up over here. And all told, it's about 72 inches long when that leaf comes up. And if I need to, I can actually put this leaf down too. I've got my corset project that I'm working on over here. And this does kind of become a catch-all for different things. Patterns that I'm going to be working on, patterns that I'm going to be putting together. So you can kind of see how I do my PDF patterns. So I actually put them in the yellow envelopes with the label on it. And that seems to work well. And coming over here, further along this wall, is more yarn. I really like this basket. I found it when I moved, actually when I moved in, just before I moved into this room. This was, I want to say I bought it at Hobby Lobby. I saw it there and it was on sale. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and it actually has held all of my lace and sock weight yarn quite nicely. So my patterns actually go in these boxes right here. The top one is the PDF patterns, and then there's one underneath there that has the other stuff. Ignore that blue stain. That is actually from my youngest son. Like I said, when I cleaned this place up, and I'll show you before and after pictures at the end, but yeah, I really had to clean this place up. So this this sewing table over here, right now it is holding my brother Innovis embroidery machine, which I actually don't use it for embroidery all that much. I use it more for buttonholes than anything else right now. But in that table is actually my grandmother's Kenmore. And I refurbished that about 1.5 years ago now. And I just never really could get it to work right. And I think I need to get the pedal, get a new the new foot controller, because it should be going pretty fast, and it's not. And I think it's the power of the pedal. It's not doing what it should. And we're going to kind of, sorry about the light here. The light is coming in. It's very white because of the snow, but this is where I normally do my spinning when the chair doesn't have stuff on it. Again, some of the stuff surfaces become a catch-all, and that is a problem. And then over against this other wall is my sewing area. So I'll show it to you from this side. So my sewing machine that I use mainly is a Singer heavy duty. I like it. I have a dream of having a Juki. Hopefully that'll become a reality in the next year or two. We shall see. And then my Baby Lock Accolade over there. It's a overlock machine and a cover stitch machine. And so I use it for both. Not at the same time. You have to do some little bit of adjustment to get it to do the other one. Now this table is a Kangaroo, and I got it at a local quilting shop, Sierra Sewing, and they didn't have another one in stock, so they went ahead and gave me the floor model. And so it was small enough because all of this folds up and closes up to be about the width of this and the length to there. So it fit perfectly in my car with the seat laid down and everything, and I didn't even have to put it together. Just get it in and set it up and everything. But it's really nice because it does have this this open flap that has room for thread and everything, and various notions at the bottom. And in the next couple of weeks, I will be going through my favorite tools, because I do have some favorite tools. And then over in this corner, sometimes there's a stack of projects waiting to be done. Right now, I have the stack here. Just sometimes depending on my mood, where I want it, where I want to see it, what I'm working on. And I actually do have a pretty decent view out the window. It's really nice today. Yeah, ignore the backyard though. And then within easy distance is my ironing setup. And I still have to get up to get to it, so it's not like I can just roll over and do it. But it seems to work really good. It fits right there. I can get in between everywhere that I want to. And then above there, I decided to get a bulletin board just to have things ready for me. And we're back at the door. Okay, so there you have it. There is a lovely tour of my sewing room. I didn't mention it before, but the top I'm wearing is actually a cashmere Concord tee. I actually have hacked it a couple of times, not only to make it fit a little bit better, but I actually did a V-neck facing instead of the binding. Yeah. What they have in the pattern. And I really like just the smoothness of it, the way that it fits and everything. And actually, this is actually a wool knit that I had actually made a Concord out of about a year and a half ago. I know it wasn't in 2022. I think it was in late 2021 that I actually made it. This wool knit was actually very holey. I got it from a yard sale, but it was just so soft and so lovely that I didn't want to throw what was left away because there was a good yard and a half left. But there, like I said, there were a lot of holes in it. So I took the time, actually a couple of days ago, to lay it out and see if I could actually fit and work it so that I could get something out of it. And I did. Now, there is a hole on the front, but you cannot see it anymore because I actually felt like I did a pretty good job securing it and patching it. And I have to look hard to find it, which is great. But the sleeves ended up being 3/4 sleeves, which is fine for the most part. And I don't like getting 3/4 sleeves into jackets, but for around the house and everything, it's fine. And it's just very comfortable. It's very soft. Yes, I like petting my arm. Anyway, if you check out next week's video, or not next week's video, if you check out the video, I think before this one, I actually filmed a segment while I was doing the sewing room tour, in which I talk a little bit more about my love of sci-fi and stuff like that. So I put that as a separate video, mainly because I talked about it for a long time and I didn't want to make this video super long. So anyway, and then we'll go into some before and after pictures of when I fixed the room up and then closing. All right. I hope you really enjoyed the tour of my sewing room, getting to peek into my stash, as it were, as well as getting to know me a little bit better. So if you have any questions or comments, please list them below and pop a like in there. Subscribe if you want to see more of my videos in your feed. I am going to be trying to post both on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. Wednesdays will be a more specific more specific topic. Sometimes a tutorial, sometimes talking about a specific thing, kind of like I did today. And then Saturdays will be kind of my vlog for Friday and the week, kind of catching up. What am I doing? What am I working on? What did I finish? That kind of thing. Just general life stuff. So anyway, we will see you later and take care. Bye.